Hey, this is Will. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how to start selling digital products, the different ways how you can do this. And honestly, it isn't that straightforward. There are actually so many different ways how you can go about doing this. And I myself really went down the rabbit hole and really, I love geeking out about this stuff. So I geeked out. I found all of the different ways. I tried out all of the different ways, and now I'm going to save you up a ton of time. I'm going to explain exactly what you need to understand about all of these different softwares and whatnot to choose the best one for you. And it honestly does depend on what exactly are your goals, what exactly are you planning to sell, and also how much money you want to spend, how much work you want to put into different softwares, so on and so forth. So there's going to be a lot of very useful information. By the way, I will also have special discounts and bonuses for all of the different softwares that I mentioned. So check out all of the links in the description. Also, every single week I give out one of my courses completely for free. So make sure to smash the thumbs up button and leave a comment to enter the competition. Also, check out my podcast and check out my Instagram account for quick and actionable growth hacks. I will leave all of the links in the description. Now let's jump straight into it. So first of all, I would say that you have two different ways how you can go about doing this, starting to sell digital products. So the first way is basically leveraging other platforms. So you are creating your products and you are uploading them on the different platforms, and those platforms are doing all the marketing for you and they are driving the customers to your products. The other choice is to create your own store on which you're going to sell the products. So obviously you have the benefit of leveraging other audience, so you don't need to do any marketing. And if that is something that you are concerned about, you don't want to do marketing, or you just think you don't know how to do it, then that might be a good choice. An example of this would be something like Etsy, by the way. But really what I would advise for most of the people, and I made another video, by the way, I'll link a video where I compare having an Etsy store versus having your own store. There are a lot of different benefits on both sides, I'm not going to lie, but at the end of the day, with an Etsy store, you don't actually own your store. Etsy owns it, and if they change algorithm, if they shut down your store, you can lose your business overnight. Whereas if you have your own store, you actually have full control over your business. So if you want to set up email marketing, if you want to have different pixels, if you want to do, let's say, retargeting with ads, all of these type of things, you can do that with your own store. And that is really what's going to help you to scale really fast and really make a lot of money. Not that you can't make a lot of money using something like Etsy, but there is, I would say, a limit, and you're not going to be able to do it as fast as you would do if you build out your own website. So there are a lot of different solutions as well how you can build out digital product store to sell your products, and I'm going to explain one by one so you can choose which one is actually the best for you, because it depends what exactly you are looking for. So the first option is Shopify. You might have already heard of Shopify, but Shopify, the cool thing about it is that it is a platform that's made specifically for e-commerce. So they do have a lot of different tools and whatnot. It is made, I would say, more for physical products. Usually that's what people sell on Shopify. So they don't have as well, the tools that they have for digital products, they are not as good, I would say, but you can still use Shopify. You can still use the platform. And the one thing that I would say is probably the main thing about Shopify, at least for me, is that they do have a lot of apps to choose from, because Shopify has been increasing in popularity and everyone now seems to be building out apps for Shopify. And the reason why people are doing that as well is because they can charge monthly fees. So people can make a lot of money from those apps. That's why there are so many apps. But for you, that also means that you will need to pay monthly fees, and that is going to cost quite a bit of money. That can really add up if you're using a lot of different apps. Another big thing with Shopify is the ease of use. So it is honestly super simple to set up and start out. I think maybe, well, one of the easiest solutions out of all of the ones that I'm going to talk about, and it costs $29 per month. Plus, if you're going to use some other payment gateways, not Shopify payment gateways, then you're going to have some additional fees for that as well. One thing that's, for me personally, is a big downside when it comes to Shopify is that it is very hard to customize compared to some of the other solutions. Most likely you can't really customize that much at all yourself. So most likely you will need to either outsource for some kind of developer, or you will need to use some kind of app. And there are some apps that allow you to customize your stores a little bit more. And there are some apps that allow you even to build out landing pages if this is something that you want. But again, you will need to pay extra money. And those tools and apps, they are still somewhat limited. The one good thing about Shopify, well, depending on what you want to do actually, but Shopify is built out as a store. So it's very easy to create a storefront where you have multiple products. So if you're selling multiple digital products, that is pretty cool. On the other hand, if you just want to sell one digital product and you want to have a nice landing page for that, you can do that with Shopify, but not right away from the gate. You do need to get additional apps to be able to really do that. And if you want to create sales funnels, if you want to, have your upsells, cross sells, you want to have order bumps, you want to have tripwire, so on and so forth, then again, Shopify isn't really made for that. So you will need to use additional apps and all of those type of different things. So this solution, I would say, is for people that really want very simplistic platform to use. And if you really think that you're going to use a ton of Shopify apps, then that is maybe a good reason for you to use it. Otherwise, I'm going to explain why other tools might be better. So the next option is Woocommerce, and Woocommerce is basically a WordPress plugin. So you will need to get a WordPress website and install Woocommerce, which, by the way, don't be afraid, it's very simple to do. And the nice thing is with WordPress that it is very cheap, or it can be very cheap. It depends how exactly you want to go about it, but you can start out for as little as $4 per month for hosting. So that is way cheaper than Shopify and all of the other things that I am going to discuss. Another huge thing when it comes to Woocommerce is that it's very customizable. So out of all of these solutions that I'm going to talk about, Woocommerce is the most customizable, and for me that makes a big difference when building out, let's say, just your sales pages and all of those kind of things. You can really make it you almost don't have any limitations. You can really almost make it whatever that you can think of. Also, for WooCommerce, you do have all of the different plugins that you can use for your marketing and whatnot, and I would say that they have WooCommerce has around same amount of plugins as Shopify does. Realistically, I would say Shopify maybe has a few more apps, so it kind of depends what exactly will you want to use. Some of the apps, they actually have integrations for both for Shopify and WooCommerce. One good thing about WooCommerce though is that if you get some of the plugins, usually they are one-time fee and that is it. So you don't have recurring fees every single month. So this is another thing that makes it cheaper compared to Shopify. Another thing that I personally really like about WooCommerce is that you can really create very advanced sales funnels. You're not going to be able to do this with just Shopify right out of the gate. You will need certain plugins to be able to do that. But honestly, it's definitely worth to get those plugins and all of that, because you can really customize and have very advanced sales funnel. I would say the most you can have the most advanced sales funnel probably out of all of the different solutions. Also, when it comes to products, the really cool thing about WooCommerce is that you can do both. The platform is really for both, for multiple products and for single products. As I said, you can create really cool landing pages, sales pages for your products. So you can definitely have one product that you're selling, but also in WooCommerce, it's very easy to create a storefront as well. So I know everything I said sounds really good when it comes to WooCommerce, but the downside of this is because you have all of this customization and you can go very advanced and whatnot, of course, it is much more difficult to actually deal with. So I'm not going to lie, compared to all of the other solutions, WooCommerce and WordPress is definitely a more difficult solution in terms of just learning how to do all of these different things. So I am actually thinking to maybe have a service where I am setting all of the solution to people, where basically I have my team to installing the solution for whoever wants that. So do let me know if you would be interested in that. Leave it in the comments, or by the time you are watching this, perhaps it already exists, so check out the description. But so I would say that WooCommerce is the best solution for people that want to go super advanced, want to have the best customization and all of these kind of things, and also want to save up some money, because it definitely is a cheaper option to go with. If you feel like you don't want to deal with all the tech and you just want some very simple solution, then perhaps this isn't quite the best for you. The next option is such solutions as Gumroad, Payhip, SendOwl. So these are specifically softwares to sell digital products, but these softwares are very simplistic. So you don't really have any storefront. You basically can just upload your products and that is it, and you can just sell them. You technically, well, you have sort of a storefront. You have your profile where you have the products, but it doesn't look honestly like a legit store. So if you want to build out real business, I definitely don't recommend to use these tools. And they do have a little bit of marketing. So you have maybe basic affiliates, you have some upsells, maybe you have an order bump, but it's definitely very limited. You can't really install, you don't have any apps or plugins or anything like that. You also can't really create any funnels or anything like that. So really it's just very simplistic solution. And the only good thing about this is that it is free to, well, most of these softwares, they are free to start out with. You will need to pay some fees, by the way. You will need to basically just pay a fee of percentage of how much you're making from your sales. But at the end of the day, I would say if you want to build out actual business, I would say definitely don't go with the solution, even though I know it sounds kind of like it should make sense because this is built specifically for digital products. But I think these solutions are built for someone who already has an audience. Let's say you have a YouTube channel and you have a following and you create your digital product and you just want to send people right away to purchase the product, and that is it. So you don't want to do any convincing, you don't want to do any selling. You just need a platform that's actually going to do the transaction and the delivery of the product. If that's the case, then you can use these solutions, but other than that, I would definitely not recommend it. Next option is Podia, and this is a pretty interesting one because Podia is technically an online course software. So it depends also what kind of digital products you're planning to sell, but I would assume that most of the people, they're not just going to be selling online courses, they're going to be selling maybe graphics, maybe informational products, whatever it actually is. But Podia is a combination of both. It's online course software, but they also have digital product storefront. I do like Podia quite a bit. It's a really easy to use software as well. I would say it's definitely as easy as Shopify, if not even easier. The cool thing as well with Podia is you can build out landing pages, and you do have some basic marketing. You can do some upsells. You have some email marketings, you have some drip campaigns, but it is pretty limited. I'm not going to lie. You don't have any apps or anything like that. You do have some integrations. So if you do want to use some additional softwares, for example, if you want to use email marketing software, then you have some direct integrations with Podia. And they do also have, you can also integrate using something like Zapier with the different softwares. And Podia also provides some tracking. So for example, again, if you want to do some ad retargeting or something like that, you can set up all of these different things with Podia. So I would say when it comes to customization, it's somewhere there in the middle, because you can customize more than Shopify right off the gate. You have the tools that allow you to create landing pages, sales pages. You have a storefront as well that you can create, which some of the other tools might not necessarily have. But also, these are not the most advanced customizations. You don't have as crazy customizations as, for example, you do with Woocommerce. And the price for Podia starts at $39 a month. So it's basically just a little bit more expensive than Shopify. And it depends what kind of plan you want. You basically get pretty much everything you need with this plan. The only thing is, if you want to also have affiliates, do you have affiliate program, then you will need to upgrade to the more advanced plan to do that. So I would say this is really a solution that is sort of right there in the middle. It has all the main features that you will need and all of that. It's pretty well priced, very easy to use, but you can't create super advanced sales funnels or have crazy customizations or have some additional apps. You only have some softwares you can integrate with. So really this is sort of in the middle. The next way how you can start selling digital products is using a landing page builder or a funnel builder, however you want to really use it. These are, and again, there are so many different solutions for this, and I will leave my best recommendations with special discounts and whatnot, but most of the time, these are sort of all-in-one solutions. So they have all of the different tools. For example, let's say if you're going to use something like WooCommerce or you're going to use Shopify, well, Podia has some email marketing, but it's just drip campaigns, so I wouldn't really count that because you want to have more advanced email marketing. So all of these other platforms, for example, in terms of email marketing, they don't really have that functionality. You need to use the third-party tool to do that, or some kind of app or plugin. Whereas with a landing page builder, they usually have that functionality. Whether that functionality is going to be enough for you or not, that is another question as well. You might still want to use another email marketing software because it is just more advanced. But this is just one example. Basically, they do have all of the different tools. One good thing about landing page builders as well is that they are very easy to use. So really, when it comes to learning curve, landing page builders is one of the best solutions for people that just want to start out right away and they don't want to learn too much how exactly to set up all of the different things. Landing page builders make it very, very simple, and usually they are very strong on building out landing pages because they are landing page builders. So they do have pretty good functionality in terms of that. And they do provide such functions as A/B testing, which is very, very powerful. So basically you can test out, you can change little things on the landing page, on the sales page, and see how it's going to increase your conversions. And that is very, very important. You can do some of these things with Shopify or WooCommerce, but again, you will need additional tools to be able to do all of that. Whereas with landing page builder, you already have everything within one software, so you don't really need to think how to connect the different things. So depending on the landing page builder as well, you can build out some kind of funnels, so you can create maybe your tripwires, you can create your different upsells, you can create downsells, cross-sells, bump offers, all of these kind of different things. So this is something as well that is all within one software and makes it very simple to see how everything works and to track all of these different things. It's just made very, very simplistic. You can do these things. Again, you can do it with Shopify. With Shopify, it's pretty difficult to do that. I would say with WooCommerce, it is easier to do that, but it's definitely the easiest to do this with the actual landing page builders. One downside is that you don't have any apps such as you do on Shopify or plugins that you have on WooCommerce. Here you just have the platform and that is it. And you do have some direct integrations with some of the softwares, but for some of them you might need to use something like Zapier again to connect the different softwares. It all depends on what kind of landing page builder you want to use. So really, as I said, I'm going to leave the solutions that I recommend that are best based on different cases. But also, if you know you want to use specific marketing solution or specific app software, do check out whether that landing page builder actually connects to that software. And when it comes to landing page builders, usually their purpose is to just be selling one digital product. So usually you use them to have a sales page, and within the sales page you just have one call to action for one product. Again, it depends which of these solutions you are using, but you can technically set up multiple products as well, so you can do both of these. The one thing with this is that you do have a higher price tag. So again, there are so many different solutions, so it depends which one you choose. There are some that are actually very, very cheap to start out with. You will have some limitations though, so do keep that in mind. Again, I will leave the recommendations, but usually in general speaking, being realistic, if you want to get all the functionalities that you will need and you want to actually compare it to other solutions, it's going to be more expensive. I would say it can be, if you want actually really good solution, I would say it's going to be around $100 per month. But at the same time, you have to keep in mind that you are getting a lot from that software. So maybe if you're using something else, let's say if you're using Shopify, yes, you're paying $29 per month, but you might be also using a bunch of different apps together. You might need an app for building out landing pages, an app to do, let's say, a bump offer, an app to do a cross sell, an app for all of these different things. And all of them will have additional fees. And some of them, they're not going to provide the same level of customization and settings as a landing page builder. So this is something you have to keep in mind, that yes, you are paying higher fee, but at the same time, you are getting a lot more, and everything is in one place, already made for you, very easy to use. You don't need to be figuring out 10 different things. So if you're trying to figure out how to choose the actual niche you want to pursue, how to find products, all that kind of stuff, I will leave all of the links. I have made some videos that really go in depth and should be very, very useful for that. So I hope this was useful, and I hope it's going to help you to make a decision. I do have some reviews, by the way, video reviews of all of these different softwares. So I'll try to leave as many as I can in the description if you want to actually go in depth over all of these different solutions. And as I said, I do have special discounts and bonuses, so check out the description. If you have any questions, do leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer as many of those as I can. If you found this video useful, make sure to smash thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, put on those notifications. Stay awesome, and I'll see you soon.